Hello, good morning. Good morning and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. Got a late start, couldn't help it. We have McAdams Canadian blended whiskey, aged 3 years, introduced in 1987. There's also a McAdams lower alcohol. It's called Light, which I've never had. I bought this at Total Wine and More. Uh, $7.99 for the liter. Crown Royal Bourbon Mash. Well, this is going to be considerably more expensive, about $27 a bottle. Nice, different bottle design with the long slats. Very pretty. Introduced only in 2018, about 3 years ago, maybe closer to 4 years ago, early 18. But anyway, they say it's a corn heavy product. Of course, they're trying to make it a bourbon from the Crown Royal Blender series. But they got into some issue with legal stuff, so they changed the name to Blender's Mash. So if you find it now, it's called Blender's Mash. They can't have the word bourbon on. So anyway, like I said, about $27 for a regular size bottle, $7.50. Here you get 1,000 milliliters for $7.99. You would think. Oh, and the bourbon mash comes in the Blender's Mash comes in the bag like this. Okay, not velvet, but just canvas. McAdams. You would think that it would be a mismatch, and it probably will be a mismatch, but we don't know that yet. We're about to find out. Tomorrow, I think it's going to be Seagram's VO. I think that's what's coming up. If I have any of that left. I never can remember. All right, that's why I have them all organized in my cabinet. Didn't need tags for these. This is copper, like a bourbon. They use charred oak. And this is gold, like a regular Canadian whiskey. So the Crown Royal Bourbon Mash is clearly an attempt to make a bourbon in Canada and not directly call it bourbon, but to allude to that. But for what it didn't really take off because they got into some legal, like I said, problems right off the bat, and then they changed it to Blender's Mash, and I don't know if that confused people or if people just in general sort of ignored it. It's still around if you can find it. Anyway. Smells like a lot of sweet corn there. Yeah, also sweet corn, but lighter, more even sweeter, more sugar, less corn starch. So I think that must be the McAdams. Well, let's go with the taste anyway, but I'm already saying preliminary, this must be the Crown Royal Blender's Mash, originally bourbon mash. I have the bourbon mash. Mathern still has bottles that say bourbon mash. Well, that's telling you how well it's sold. They got the first run of it, probably a few cases, and it's still there with the old name. So they haven't ordered any new ones. Why order if it's not going to sell? Regular Crown Royal, they can't keep in stock. I mean, sweet corn, a little oak, yeah, vanilla from oak. Yeah. Oh. Ooh. Gave me the creeps. All right. Okay. See, that's why you taste it and you don't just smell it. I was backwards on the aroma. This one is clearly the bourbon mash. A much deeper charred oak. It's charred oak, and it's like oak that's saturated with whiskey. You know, it's got like a depth of flavor. And if you gave that to somebody, they would blind, you know, they don't know what it is. They would probably guess it's bourbon. They'd say, well, that's probably Old Charter, or it might be the 80 proof Evan Williams, something like that, the green label. Yeah. I don't think they would guess it's Canadian whiskey on a blind taste. This one, yeah, it's clearly Canadian whiskey. It's got all the things and it's got rye, spice, and it's kind of inexpensive. Like I said, that's why it gave me the creeps. Like, ooh. This one is on par with like Canadian Limited, Rich and Rare. Canadian Gold, which might be a little better than those three. That's from a bottle in New Jersey from Laird and Company. But all those inexpensive ones, you understand. Better than, not better, different than Canadian Mist. Canadian Mist is like really light flavor and almost dull, bland with no taste. But then if you get on the website, they explain why that is. It's on purpose, designed that way. And then you have Black Velvet, which I know is very popular, but I don't like the taste. Something about it I don't like. Oh, and I got that Gibson's Finest Rare. It is rare around here. It is rare. But to me, not very fine. It's like old toothpick wood. I don't like it. I don't know why people like it, but they do. They love it. It's very popular in Canada. I don't care for it. Now, the Seagram's VO is better than all the ones I just mentioned. It's got much more development. It's probably aged longer. The LCBO, Liquor Control Board of Ontario website, claims it's aged 6 years. Where would they have gotten that information from? Out of the air? I doubt that. It probably came from the distiller, which was Diageo, now Sazerac of Canada. Age 6 years, you taste it, seems to be that. Better be that, considering the price, elevated price, about $16 a bottle, or if you're lucky, 14. You can get a handle for 19, 20, 21. Yeah, so that's it. Blender's Mash. Oh, wait. I grabbed the wrong bottle. Wrong glass. I knew that wasn't it. I said Blender's Mash, and I was tasting the sweetness. Yeah. It's just the charred oak. That's what gives it away. So if you take Canadian whiskey and you age it in used oak, and then you take Canadian whiskey and you age it in fresh, new charred oak barrels, is it going to make a big difference? Yeah, I think so. They're both kind of like the same, you know, both of these would be like the same, heavy corn and all of that. But it tastes, and the Blender's Mash might have flavoring added, which is not allowed in the United States for bourbon. Well, it is allowed on blended bourbon, but not regular bourbon. So, but it just tastes like bourbon to me. It's like, oh, well, let's make a bourbon in Canada and call it Bourbon Mash, and then nobody will notice. We won't get in trouble. Well, they did notice, and they did get in trouble, so they had to change the name. But yeah, it's like, it really should be in the bourbon taste challenges, not Canadian whiskey. But I can't do that technically. I cannot do it. Kevin Johnson said Crown Royal needs to drop their price a bit. I don't think they agree, because they're selling like crazy and the price is still elevated. So they would say to you, why should we do that? We can't keep it in production. We can barely keep up with production. And we got an elevated price and people buying it like crazy. Yeah, it's worth it. It's $27. It's worth it. Okay, you're going to pay $27. It's worth it. It's an experience. If this is not going to taste anything really like Crown Royal. So My friend David claimed, oh yeah, I could tell it's a Crown Royal product. Okay, but maybe that was in his mind. I don't know. Maybe he's right. But he did like the bourbon mash quite a bit. This one, yeah, it's just, fine. Nothing wrong with a Canadian whiskey. I got to get off, go watch the news. Wishful thinking. I know. Yeah, it is wishful thinking. They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. Okay. So tomorrow morning, we'll do one that's not as quick, but we got to the main idea here. Some people say, I wish you'd always do that. Yeah, I know. So the winner is the Crown Royal Bourbon Mash, the clear and present winner. Thanks for watching this video production.